be used a little more cowbell. I gotta have more cowbell. You should probably give him more cowbell.
Buddies!
Oh, buddies, it's the Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies. And we are just days away from Dave & Buster's in Bethesda, Maryland at the White Flint Mall.
I can't wait for this, Fezzy. A chance for you to come out, meet Ron and Fez, see us do our show live. It's going to be a lot of fun. Talking with Crazy Jen about her stunt. I do think it's going to stink, but she will have her street team helping her. The way this is supposed to be, she's going to be in a kiddie pool filled with, I don't know, pudding or something stupid, in handcuffs, and then says she can get out.
You know, like the handcuffs aren't enough. She always has to add the element of danger, which in this area is pudding.
Right. Now, the last time I saw a show like this was overseas, and it ended really poorly. Let me just say that. Everybody had to run out before the authorities got there.
This may be my favorite part of the Dave & Buster's show, because there's no way this idiot is getting herself out of the handcuffs and out of the pudding.
And, Fezzy, an X-rated hypnosis show will be going on. Billiards tournaments. We're giving away a living room set as we pimp your living room for this season. And we got some power cards. So if you're coming out to the Dave & Buster show, give us a call right now. 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969. That's for the power cards. Are you familiar with them, Fez?
Yeah, those are the great little cards they use on the $1 Million Midway, Dave & Buster's. You play all the games.
What has happened to the world that now kids have a card to swipe to play a game? Is a quarter too much trouble for you to keep in your pocket?
You go in there with an American quarter, Ronnie, and you might as well be in a foreign country because it's all power cards there at Dave & Buster's.
We've turned into iRobot. Right in front of my eyes, everything is iRobot. All right, so we'll give away some of those power cards now. Call us at 866-277-4969. And make sure you come out and see us at Dave & Buster's this Thursday night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's at the White Flint Mall in Bethesda.
All right, Fez, I know you're a big fan of the Bushisms. That's when our own president struggles with the language that is his native tongue. He's at it again. This came up when I guess he was speaking in front of some Indian groups.
Yeah, he does these meetings. It's called Ask President Bush, which I think he's getting ready to do a talk show up against Tony Danza in case things don't work out this fall.
Wouldn't it be a little cooler if he called it Axe President Bush? That way you'd be getting some of the hip-hop vote that I know I feel like he's weak in.
He's not looking for that.
All right, so he's talking in front of the Native Americans. So it's President Bush and the Native Americans. The bad part is here, during Ask President Bush, they get to ask him questions, which is easy enough. The hard part is now he has to answer.
What do you think tribal sovereignty means in the 21st century? And how do we resolve conflicts between tribes and the federal and state governments?
Yeah. Tribal sovereignty means that. It's sovereign. I mean, you've been given sovereignty and you're viewed as a sovereign entity.
Okay.
And therefore, the relationship between the federal government and tribes is one between sovereign entities.
Okay, here the people laugh at you, Mr. President. It's not ask the president, it's laugh at the president.
It's actually the first time that people are now comfortable enough with this to start to giggle in his face. Let's listen to him again as he just struggles with a thought. He's got a word that you know he doesn't know what the word means. Yet, like any good 8th grader, he's trying to run with it, hoping upon hope that he'll come up with something that'll be so he'll be left alone. Let's listen again.
What do you think tribal sovereignty means in the 21st century? And how do we resolve conflicts between tribes and the federal and state governments?
Yeah. Tribal sovereignty means that. It's sovereign. I mean, you've been given sovereignty and you're viewed as a sovereign entity.
Okay.
And therefore, the relationship between the federal government and tribes is one between sovereign entities.
Okay. So try to say the word back to the person asking the question as many times as possible, and that may be your road out.
He's not prepared even enough to be a guide at the zoo, taking children around. A baboon has the baboon features. It's from the baboon family. That's why it's a baboon.
Have you ever seen the Andy Griffith Show where Barney tries to explain the Emancipation Proclamation? They put him on the spot, and he keeps saying, there was these people, and they were emancipated, and they proclaimed it. And it goes on the exact same way. Barney Fife is our president.
Yeah, that's where we are now, Fuzzy. Let's just hear one more time. I love to hear him try to take this bull down. He's got it by the horns, but it is not going down.
What do you think tribal sovereignty means in the 21st century, and how do we resolve conflicts between tribes and the federal and state governments?
Yeah. Tribal sovereignty means that. It's sovereign. You've been given sovereignty, and you're viewed as a sovereign entity.
Okay.
And therefore, the relationship between the federal government and tribes is one between sovereign entities.
When you hear the crowd start to laugh, you hear the guy who asked the question very quietly go, okay.
Okay, like everything's good.
Because Secret Servicemen are swooping in on him at this very moment for asking too hard of a question.
And he's not, Mr. President, he's not asking you what the word means. He's saying, how will it change? You're sitting there going, I've heard a word I'm not familiar with. Now, to me, the best part of this, Fez, is that half the country right now supports the guy. That's the beauty of this country. Half of them, and you got to wonder what they want.
They want 4 more years of hell.
I know, but I don't think consciously. I don't think they consciously want.
They want 4 more years of hell.
That's right, Zsa Zsa. They certainly do. Now, these the president town hall meetings, these are all shills. I mean, these things are loaded with people. You have to be Republican to get in them. You have to, your questions are predetermined. There's no way any of this should go wrong.
We shouldn't use a big word like sovereignty. That's what the problem was.
Somehow that got through the defense shield.
Yeah, that shook him. And when the kid actually went, okay, I'm with you. It's like when we try to calm you down from a panic attack. It's where we're going, just breathe, buddy. You just breathe. Everybody's with you.
Yes. Monkeys have stolen your car. Yes. Okay.
All right, what we're going to do is breathe through this. I'm going to get you some water, and then you explain to me what's got you upset. But I don't want to see that the president, during a town hall meeting, needs a paper bag that he can breathe in and out of, because he's totally out of his mind.
And, the shirt sleeves get rolled up when he's doing these things.
Yeah.
Tie is off. Because it's supposed to be, I'm at work. I'm hands-on president. And the sweat just starts pouring through his dress shirts. No jacket, and he just starts dripping when he hears a multi-syllable word like sovereignty.
All right, it's, anyone who's ever been in 8th grade who gets asked a question where you remember you didn't do the reading has went off on this same kind of riff. It reminds you of when you're in the Spanish class, the day that she tells you, all right, we're not using English anymore. And you try to give her sign language back and point to things.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me interpreting the crucible and the symbolism in it.
Yeah, the symbolism is important because the symbolic nature of symbols.
But I was trying to get through freshman English, not run the country.
All right, yeah, that is the big difference. That we would all laugh if we were in the same frat.
Or it's like when you're writing the 100-page paper and you're running like 75 words short.
Yeah.
And you just start putting very, 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 very a bunch of times or exaggerating stuff just so you can spread it out.
I'm actually surprised he didn't come back with the word engines in his answer.
Let's play it one more time so Don Geronimo will get mad at his producers, because he always likes when he gets stuff first.
What do you think tribal sovereignty means in the 21st century, and how do we resolve conflicts between tribes and the federal and state governments?
Yeah. Tribal sovereignty means that. It's sovereign. You've been given sovereignty, and you're viewed as a sovereign entity. And therefore, the relationship between the federal government and tribes is one between sovereign entities.
He's getting more laughs than the people on Last Comic Standing.
All right, Doc writes into you, Fezzi. That's not a GOP-managed event. This was Minority Reporters Convention. That's why they laughed at him.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, then. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. So you're wondering how that got in. That sounds like it was a legitimate question this time, and we won't allow that to happen again.
That's why today's town hall meeting was in Niceville, Florida, because he just assumed they would be much nicer to him.
With the elderly. Yes, I'll only talk to the elderly.
I like it when he gets a topic he doesn't know, but he'll shoot back, and the first thing he'll go is, yeah, right. And he's been thinking about this all night long. He's drawn up files on it.
What he was trying to do is say, please stop before it gets even longer, and I totally lose myself.
What was the question?
I wish he would just say, where am I? I don't know. I really don't.
You're in Niceville today. Now, the Justice Department documents that an Islamic terror group headed by bin Laden had case Las Vegas, baby.
Vegas.
Making surveillance videos of 3 casinos as potential bombing targets. So do we have to be worried about Las Vegas now?
They wouldn't dare. Not into the heartland, not into Vegas.
And this is frightening because now, I don't understand this part of it, but we're finding out that Vegas never got the warnings because it would affect tourism.
Fez, they don't even let you know when a murder is in that town. You and I were in Vegas one time. A riot broke out. No one even knows the story. But the night that Holyfield got his ear bit off, everybody went crazy in the casino because the fight was suddenly over. They started knocking over tables, grabbing chips. Everybody went crazy. It never made even the local news. Guns were being fired into the ceiling, and these guys just handled it in-house. Vegas doesn't want anybody to stop rolling them bones. That's what it's all about.
So even with terrorist attacks, what happens there stays there.
People gambled right through 9/11. It wasn't a slow day in Vegas. Here's what scares you about the whole thing. And I remember you and I, our friend Eddie Trunk, was in Vegas during 9/11. We finally had a chance to talk to him because he was stuck there for a couple of days. And he said everybody immediately went out when the towers fell to look at the strip thinking they're going to hit here. And we went, stop being so stupid and gamble-minded of thinking that the terrorists are after you. But when you really think about it, more people go to Vegas or Disney World than go to Wall Street or the Pentagon. So if you really want to terrorize the American citizens, the way to do it would be to hit some of the places that people like to go to relax.
Yeah, but I guarantee you they will not leave. The tourists will not leave. They'll stay at the tables as long as they humanly can.
Well, there's either two things are going when you're in Vegas. Either you're in a roll or you're down, and you got to get that money back. I'm not walking away from a hot table. That'll never happen. I had to explain that to a first wife. You're going to have to sleep now because I'm at a hot table.
Now, the president has announced a new director nominee to head up the CIA. It is Porter Goss, Republican out of Florida.
Now, Porter Goss, what a job he has been getting. This is like suddenly being told that you're going to take over the Detroit Lions. Yes, it sounds great. You can tell everybody you're an NFL coach, except for you're running the Lions.
Yeah, there's no way to come out of this looking good because now the focus is so on it. It should have been even more on George Tenet.
Yeah.
But now you're really under the magnifying glass.
Now, who is this guy? What is his whole background?
Now, you've seen Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah.
He's the guy screaming, if you have any questions about the Patriot Act, call my 1-800 number.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a 1-800 number, so they actually put his office number on the screen.
Well, that's fun that they got somebody out of the movies to do this. I'm excited about that. Why don't we just get Arnold? Somebody who we've seen deal with terrorists before. The governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's amazing how that one little bit part in the movie has just launched his career.
You know what? It happens for a lot of people, Fez. That's why I'm excited about Crazy Jen getting on a reality show.
Crazy Jen trying to get makeovers and everything else.
And this will launch her to where she's running the CIA. Who knows?
Now, I was just wondering about this.
You go ahead and ask, Fez. You're with friends here.
I'm just wondering, have you noticed that Condoleezza Rice when she goes on TV.
I saw her Sunday. Who's she on with, Tim Russert?
Yeah, Meet the Press.
Yeah.
She's sounding more and more like Mary Richards from the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
She's got a Mary Richards look about her, tell you the truth.
And now, no matter what question she gets asked, it's, "Oh, Mr. President." And she gets so shaky, and she actually called Tom Russert. You know, the president wants to protect this country, and this party isn't so bad.
Why do you sit there for 7 minutes? What happened there? You notice that the 7 minutes of sitting is coming up everywhere now?
Yep, even John Kerry brought it up.
Yeah, wow, you're sitting around a lot.
Where John Kerry said, I would have told the children that the President of the United States has something he needs to do.
I saw Condi Rice, and she would not say that she was keeping her job after the election, win or lose. And the whole staff is starting to talk that way. They all must be exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, how hard is that stock answer to just say, you know what, if the President feels he needs me, I'm there for him. And then sort it out after the election either way. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Come up with your excuses then, not saying, I'm just trying to get through the next few weeks. Oh, Mr. Russert. Oh, it's just awful.
Maybe they ought to put on like some kind of a show, like a Mary Tyler Moore show. Cheney can be Lou Grant. He looks exactly like him. We'll end up trying to run this thing as a reality show, like a sitcom.
Rumsfeld is Ted Baxter.
Good night and good news from Iraq.
That would be fun. I think people would like him better if they went with that angle.
George, Condi, Dick.
You were bringing up that Condi's changing words on us now, Fez?
Yeah, now, is this another word we have to worry about, like harassment turning into harassment? Now she says our allies in the war on terror, there are allies.
What are they?
Allies.
Are allies.
Instead of like allied forces, allied forces.
How's that happen now?
I don't know where people get the right to change a word on us. Where it just
There
goes.
are allies. No, you don't say that. It's allies. We've always said allies.
I think she can't quit saying the word lies.
Yeah.
I think that part of it's stuck in her head.
Colin Powell called. He says he wants to be put in as the sports guy.
He's Gordy.
He's Gordy. And then Fez is Straight wrote in on the instant feedback here. Hello, Fez. This is 2004. Please join us. Not everything relates to a 60s TV show. You do have a tendency of taking everything that we do on the show. One thing is like Andy Griffith. The next thing is like Mary Tyler Moore.
It's my only point of reference that I have. It's all I've got.
Do you watch nothing but that Nick at Night, that TV Land?
It's the best.
All right.
Anytime they get a marathon going.
Well, you know, I'm one of your allies, Fezzy. I'm going to be here for you no matter what you need.
You can't change a word just because you feel like it.
Our allies have went to Uranus and will not be back.
That drives me nuts.
They've decided to queue up. Have you noticed people say queue up now? And you'll read it all the time instead of line up? And I go, we're not in Britain. I know they say that over there. But this is the United States, and we don't queue up anything but records.
People are trying to be so continental now.
That's working. All right, we're going to take a break. Remember, Thursday night, come out and hang with us.
It's at Dave & Buster's. We broadcast live. Come on out and join us. It's at the White Flint Mall in Bethesda, Maryland.
Now, we still have a couple of openings for billiard players because we're putting on a billiard tournament. That's a great trip we're giving away, Fez.
That is trip for two, airfare for two, anywhere Independence Air flies.
Now, if you want to join that billiard tournament, write to us at write to us at ronandfez@AOL.com, ronandfez@AOL.com, or you can call us at 866-277-4969. Also, if you want to pick up any of the power cards so you can play some of the games out there for free, just give us a call at 866-277-4969. We're going to take a break. We're back in a few moments. It's the Ron and Fez Show.